What's the worst thing a roommate has ever done to you? Back in boarding school, I shared a room with a girl who was 18 and weighed over 350 kilograms. I was there on a track scholarship. Running was my entire life, and my family wasn't exactly wealthy. The school covered tuition, but barely anything else. My coach and parents worked together to get me these special protein bars for my meets. Expensive stuff with electrolytes and supplements specifically balanced for my training regimen. I could never afford them myself at $8 a bar, but they made a massive difference in my performance. First week after winter break, I noticed my supply dwindling faster than usual. By Friday, half my monthly shipment was gone. At first, I thought I was going crazy, but then I started finding wrappers stuffed at the bottom of our shared trash can. I confronted my roommate. She didn't even look up, just rolled her eyes and said, "I don't know what you're talking about." This while I could literally see a wrapper peeking out from under her pillow. When I pointed it out, she shrugged and said, "If you're going to have food in our room, you should expect to share it." I tried explaining these weren't snacks. They were basically medical supplements that my family sacrificed to provide. She laughed and said, "They're just protein bars. Stop being so dramatic." The next month, I spent my entire birthday money on a mini fridge with a lock. It wasn't even a nice one, just this tiny cube that could barely fit my bars and some Gatorade. The day it arrived, my roommate went absolutely ballistic. She stormed around our tiny room, face bright red, screaming that I was food hoarding and that locking up food was discrimination against larger people. She said I was triggering her eating disorder recovery, something she'd never mentioned before. That night, she started a whispering campaign throughout our floor. Suddenly, girls who used to smile at me were giving me side eyes in the bathroom. I overheard someone say, "Did you know she locks up her food so her roommate can't have any?" Another girl replied, "I heard she's anorexic and hides food so no one sees she doesn't eat it." I was devastated. These girls had been my friends, or so I thought. My roommate played the victim perfectly, always teary-eyed in the common room, accepting sympathy snacks from others while telling stories about how I tortured her. The weekend before state finals, I came back early from practice. As I opened our door, I caught her kneeling by my fridge, trying to pick the lock with a bobby pin. When she saw me, instead of looking embarrassed, she screamed that I was starving her and that she was going to report me to the administration. The next morning, my coach pulled me aside before warm-ups. Her face was serious as she told me someone had reported me for having an eating disorder. School policy meant I had to get cleared by the nurse before they'd let me compete. My heart sank. I'd trained all season for this meet. While I was stuck getting my BMI measured and answering uncomfortable questions about my eating habits, my roommate had somehow convinced our RA to let her into our room for an emergency. When I finally got back, my fridge door was hanging open, the lock broken, and every single one of my bars was gone. I collapsed on my bed in tears. Those bars cost over $200, money my parents didn't have to spare. The state meet was tomorrow and I had nothing. But those bars weren't my regular ones. My doctor had recently changed my formula because I'd been diagnosed with IBS. These special bars contained a significant amount of medical-grade laxative compound to help with my digestive issues. My roommate didn't show up for dinner that night, or breakfast the next day. In fact, she missed 3 entire days of classes. When she finally emerged from the bathroom on the 4th day, she looked like she'd lost 15 pounds and could barely walk straight. She wouldn't make eye contact with anyone. When girls asked what happened, she mumbled something about food poisoning. She never once admitted to stealing my supplements. I transferred rooms the following week.